Basic Math, Chapter 10, Section 14, Renaming Fractions as Decimals. You can change a fraction to a decimal. Divide the numerator by the denominator. For example, rename the fraction 7/20 as a decimal. Step 1. Write the fraction as a division problem. The number on top goes in the shop. The number on bottom does the dividing. So the 7 becomes the dividend, the 20 becomes the divisor, and our decimal will become the quotient. Step 2, do the dividing. 7 put into the division box doesn't have a decimal already, so therefore it's a whole number. So you can always add a decimal to the right of a whole number and add as many zeros as you want, because 7.00, or like saying $7, is the same as just writing the 7 and saying $7. So we can add as many zeros to the right of a decimal as we want, which will be important to make fractions into decimals. And then when you make the decimal with some zeros, then you can just divide without worrying about the decimal. You're just going to be moving it straight up on top of the division box later. So you just see how many 20s go into 7. Well, none can, because 7 is less than 20. Now the zeros help because you can see how many 20s go into 70. 3 of them do, and 3 times 20 is 60. Then you subtract, and you get 10 left over. Bring down a 0. Always, you can add 1 if you need to. Now 100. It takes 5 20s to make 100. There's nothing left over, so we're done. 7/20 can be written as 35 hundredths. So we've got some practice. Hopefully we've got enough room here. So we can put the number on top in the shop, and the number on bottom does the dividing. You can put a decimal to the right of that number you put in the box and add a 0 or more if needed. But I can see that it will take 6 5s to finish this problem, and then you bring the decimal up. So 3/5 is equal to 6/10. 1/2 can put the 1 in the division box, the 2 does the dividing, put a decimal and a 0, and then we can see how many 2's to get into 10. 5. Bring the decimal up, and we see 1/2 is equal to 5/10. We're going to need more room now, I think, with our 11 going in the division box and 20 doing the dividing. We can add the decimal with some zeros. Not sure how many I'll need, but 20 is bigger than 11. But how many 20s can go into 110? How about we start with 5? 5 times 20 is 100. And then we're going to get 10 left over. Bring down a 0. And then 5 20s leave us with nothing. So I actually didn't need this 0. I had too many, because we're done when we have nothing left over or when it starts repeating. Bring the decimal point up, and we see that we have 55 hundredths is equal to 11/20. So that's how we could do those. Now, practice B. Rename each fraction as a decimal by using division. Oh, actually, I was going too fast. We were only writing the division problem for these top ones. We didn't actually need to finish it. They just wanted us to put the number on top in the division box and the number on bottom to do the dividing. That's all they wanted us to do. And when you actually finish it, we did some extra. Practice B, though, wants us to actually finish. So 3/5 we did already. 1/2, we did already. And so on. All right, let's take a look at another one. So 1/4's got some room. The number on top goes in the shop. The number on bottom does the dividing. We can add a decimal place and a couple of zeros. 4 can go into 10 twice, leaving us with 2. Bring down the 0. Now it takes 5 4s to get 20. Nothing left over. Bring the decimal up. And our answer is 25 hundredths is equal to 1/4. Just like it takes 4 quarters to make $1, and a quarter is worth 1/4 of $1. Right, there's some more for you to practice here, where we are, for any of these, you're taking the number. I'm not going to have space to finish this one here, but just to remake the problem, the number on top goes in the shop. The number on bottom does the dividing. Put the decimal to the right of the number you put in the division box, and you can add as many zeros as you like. When you have no more remainder, you're done. And if you find something repeating, you can put the repeating bar like we've done in a previous chapter. Of course, let me know if you have any questions, and please practice in your workbook for Chapter 10, Section 14. Thank you.